Hello everyone, my name is Yap Han Yi, TTC Science Tutor. Today I try to do two things. The first one is we want to discuss about active immunity and passive immunity. And then the second one is actually some of you were actually interested on knowing how do I teach science in dual language. All right. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let me show you this. I believe that you guys will have a brochure with you right now that you will notice you have it started off with page 1, body defense, and then from page 1 to page 3, the notes is in English, while for page 4 until page 6, you will see that it's the exact same notes, but it's in the BM. So you will notice that there's two language right there. And then what happened here is, how do I teach the thing in dual language? I can actually do this. Ta-da! Okay, so you can see that on your left will be on English, and then on the right will be in BM. All right, so again, it can be too small for you, right? So we can zoom it up as well. So you can see this side by side. The reason why I do this is, although that some of my students or majority of my student is learning in BM, but I would like them to learn in English as well, because the idea here is after Form 5, as you guys move to university level, the language that you guys will see is most likely that will be in English. So I like you guys to work in that world as well. So now for today's topic, right, we want to look at this immunization. You look at page 2 if you are English version, and page 5 if you are BM version. All right, so now for actual class, right, you will receive the notes based on what language that you use in the school. For example, that if your school use in BM, then the notes that will be given to you is in BM. So you will see exactly like this. All right, and during the class, I will put it side by side like this, and I will use English language to explain the thing, while in the same time, I can explain the keyword that is required for the BM version as well. All right, so let's jump right into this topic, immunization. So now for immunization, right, for English it's called immunization, for BM it's called immunisasi. All right, so now what is immunization actually? So immunization is the ability to stimulate the body defense. All right, and for BM wise is to merangsangkan pertahanan badan. Okay, so hold on. Okay, hold on. So you'll be merangsangkan pertahanan badan terhadap jangkitan, or in English also is against infections, infectious disease. So when you look at this, right, what does immunization do is ability to arm your body against infections. All right, so by doing what leh? This is the very beautiful keyword right there, vaccine. Okay, we will come to that later on. Now, the difficult part about this chapter, right, is a lot of students don't really understand what you mean by active immunity and passive immunity. And for my class is I don't really like my student to memorize stuff. Okay, if you understand the whole thing, you actually don't need to memorize. That's what science is all about. Okay, it's all about evidence, and then we need to understand it. So we got these two words: active immunity, or immunity active in BM, versus passive immunity, or in BM we call it immunity passive. Now, when you look at these two names, right, again, right off the bat, active and passive, which one sounds stronger? Active, that means that you're proactive, and then passive means that you are reactive. Reactive means that you actually respond after you're gonna hit. So which one better? Most likely that it will be active immunity. So now active immunity, you can see that under this active immunity, right, you will see that these two brackets, one is natural active immunity, another one is artificial. Or in BM is semula jadi, natural, and then buatan. So that is artificial. All right. So let's look at the first one. Zoom it out here. Immunity active. So now, what is active immunity? So active immunity is the antibody, which is the weapon that your cell use, your white blood cell specifically, is produced when a person is recovered from infection, or in BM, sembuh daripada jangkitan. So what does it mean here? So it means that, right, I remember one song by Kelly Clarkson. I don't really want to sing it, but I sing it anyway. I'm sorry. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Okay, so meaning that, right, if you being hit by COVID, don't say you lah, me lah. Okay, if I being hit by COVID, so what happened here is, as long as I don't die, and then I recover from it, then automatically I will obtain natural active immunity. Means that I will be immune towards COVID-19. Okay, even I didn't do anything, so my body will work out for me. Okay, and when you have this immunity, the effect will last for a long time. So in BM tahan lama lah. So again, right, the idea here is, although that somebody will say that, oh, if like that, then why should I need vaccine for? Well, remember what I said just now. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. So the keyword is what doesn't kill you. So the process of killing you is painful. Okay, so for those people that does not have vaccine, well, I can take another one. I can take another example. Aside from COVID-19, the one that is very, very famous is your chicken pox. Okay, chicken pox, aka in Chinese we call it 水痘. So most of you will get infected by this. So for those of you that get infected by the chicken pox, then I think most likely that you will be immune from this disease for the rest of your life. Okay, can? And for those who didn't, how? So you either got two ways. One is you have to be infected by this, go through the difficult process of suffering and hopefully recover. And then you will get this immunity. So this thing hurts. And for those of you that say, teacher, I don't want to suffer lah. I know the disease is there, but I don't want to suffer. Then what should I do? Enter artificial active immunity. This is the pinnacle of science. This, the technology bring forth by the science, is called vaccine. Okay, you may heard this time and time again, whereby that during COVID-19, the government actually advised you guys to take the vaccine. So what is vaccine actually? All right, so vaccine is actually contain the antigen obtained from part of whole of the structure of the virus itself. Okay, so the virus or the bacteria. All right, so you can see the word here. So BM is the same lah. The only difference is the spelling only. All right, so now it sounds alarming. Oi, COVID-19, but inject the COVID virus into me. What's wrong with you? Well, chill, bro, chill. Look at this word. You got weakened or dead. So you can see the word here, lemah atau mati. So to put in a perspective, assume that I'm a very evil virus that's going to invade you. Okay, now if you look back to natural active immunity, means that me, the actual virus, going to attack your body. And believe me, this is some interesting fact about our body is our body have the ability to fight the virus. However, the time needed to find the right antibody to fight that virus, it takes time. So it's slow. While your body is still trying to find what is the solution to find the virus, and the virus, which is in this case COVID-19, do a lot of terrible thing to your body. So it will hurt your body, okay, while doing that. Now, for artificial active immunity is what happened here is we take the dead body. So remember that I said just now, I'm the virus, I'm going to attack you. That is happened in natural active immunity. But for artificial active immunity, what happened here is the scientists take the part of the virus. For example, only my head, the dead body of mine. So either is my head, my leg, my hand, that, to be honest, will not do anything to you. Okay, it does not harm your body. Dead virus, what can it do to your body? Cannot do anything. But for your body, what does it do is it allow your body to recognize, oh, nah, this is Mr. Yap. This is the bad guy. I remember his stupid face right there. So the moment that he see my face, your body will remember it. So when the actual virus come in, when the real virus come in, your body will fight it back. And we fight it because that they recognize it, they take lesser time, and therefore it also lasts long. Okay? So the power of vaccine is what? It allow you to have the immunity towards the certain disease, like in this case is COVID-19, without actually need to suffer. This is how cool does this technology is. Okay? You can do this without suffering at all compared to the natural active immunity. Natural active immunity, you will get that immunity after you suffer first. But this artificial active immunity is like a hack code. Like, I don't need to suffer. Of course, I know that a lot of people will say that anti-vaxxer, or those of you, I see a lot in Facebook that say, hey, teacher, I take the vaccine, my arm feel pain lah, I have fever lah. See, this thing do more harm to me, why? Not quite. Now, the painful sensation that you feel, or you have flu, or you have headache, different people, to be honest, will have different reaction. So the idea here is, when you see all these symptoms, right, it's actually telling you your body is doing something against that against that vaccine. Bear in mind, the vaccine is still contain the virus. So your body is learning. This is the power of it. And again, right, the side effect of the vaccine is really, really low. Okay, as shown in the data, I think MOH, your Ministry of Health, say already those people that have the vaccine, and in fact that I think time and time again, because right now you look at the what do you call this, the current situation, the Omicron cases, right? A lot of my students actually got infected, and to my surprise, not really to my surprise, actually, that I not really expect much. For those of my students, actually all of my students who have vaccine, reported to me that, meh, teacher, I don't feel anything. This Omicron, nothing only. Of course lah, because your body already learned it. And this is the power of vaccine. Okay? Okay? So, proven facts. Okay? Okay? So that's it. That's your active immunity right there. You got natural and then man-made. Okay? Now, for passive immunity, which is the next one right here. Now, again, same story. You still got natural passive immunity. Again, you can see the word here, natural. Now, natural means that it happened naturally lah. So this thing is acquired by the fetus from the mother through the, again, antibody. Okay, so the mother antibody is passed down to the baby. So now passive immunity is almost like a drug. All right, but this one is the natural one lah. So again, you get it from your mother. Okay, and a lot of people have some misconception about mother's milk, you know. So again, is a lot of people not know, especially my student, they say that mother's milk is very, 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 I need to specify this a lot, very important. Okay, why this antibody in the mother's milk, right, allow the baby to have this kind of immunity. It's like a natural drugs that don't have side effect. Bear in mind, baby between 0, which is birth, until 3 years old, right, it's best not to expose to any kind of medication. So it will be dangerous if the baby like 1 year or 5 years old, they suffer from certain illness like fever or flu. You can't simply just give them Panadol because the side effect is there. But for this natural passive immunity there, especially from the mother's milk, as long as the baby drank the mother's milk, and again, this is the fun part. And again, if the mother is healthy during that period, right, both mother and the baby most likely will not suffer from any kind of illness. It's like a shield. So we look at passive immunity like a shield. As long as you drink the milk, not now, of course, okay, when you are young, then when you are still baby, then this thing is actually very, very powerful. Okay, so it can last for a few months for the birth for the baby lah. So berkesan untuk beberapa bulan pertama. Okay, okay. And then we move on to the next one, which is artificial passive immunity. Now this one is, again, when you see artificial or you see buatan in BM here, automatic, this thing came from human. Not really came from human, we made it. So again, this is the weird part. Okay, this thing is actually is the anti-serum. So we call this anti-serum. So anti-serum is technically is a blood. Wait, it's a blood that got antibody. So remember what I said about antibody. Antibody is the substance that able to kill the bacteria or virus. All right. But the thing about this is the fun part of it is this is blood. Supposing it's red, but it's transparent. So we actually extract this anti-serum and wait for it. It's from animal, yeah. Say what? And from the horse. Why? Why horse? You can think of any other animal, man. If you take from the cows, you might offend the Indian community. You take pig, no need to say. You obviously know that who are you offended with. Then, of course, some students say that, teacher, take from the chicken lah. Dude, chicken is categorized as bird. Yo. Okay. Horse is mammal. Alright. So we take this blood from the horse and then we extract this anti-serum. And this anti-serum is directly injected to your patient body. So disuntik ke dalam badan pesakit. Alright. And this anti-serum, okay, can help you to fight pathogen. Okay. Melawan pathogen tanpa mengganggu sistem imun pesakit. So it help you. So in another word, again, if you find it difficult to understand this, I take almost the equivalent thingy, almost equivalent, but it's not the real thing, but the concept is there. It's like when you have a headache, what do? You take Panadol. Okay, so when you take Panadol, does your headache go away? Sure it does. But the idea here is, will it come back? It will. So what happened? The immediate of this is, the immunity of this is fast, cepat, yet only temporary. So not as good as your active immunity. Okay? So you can see the difference right there, active immunity and passive immunity. So if you want to look at the graph, okay, so I want to take another story so that you can relate a bit. What is the difference between active immunity and passive immunity? Now, for active immunity, so now let's look at the summary of this thing. Summary, you look at the next page, yeah. So you can see that active immunity, we only want to look at the active immunity here. Now, let me take out one story. This one is from my brother, actually. My brother actually not doing very well in school. In fact, he don't like to study at all. Okay, and end up being punished by the teachers all the time. This one we are talking about 10 years back, whereby that caning in school is something is very real. Okay, my time caning is real. You guys are fortunate that you guys not being caned. Not sure it's a good thing or not. All right, so I remember that one day that when my brother want to go to school, and then he said to my mother that, "Ma, I need some cream to heal my injury." Then my mother asked, "Why?" "And I'm going to get injured later on." My mother was like, "What? Why?" "I'm going to be beaten by the teacher." "How you know?" "Because I didn't do the homework." So what did my brother do? Okay, so now back in those time, right? Now, what is active immunity? Active immunity is whereby that my brother didn't do the homework, so it's going to be punished by the teacher. The teacher going to take the cane and going to whack his ass. Okay, so my brother, what does he do? What does he did is just whack my ass lah. Whack lah. Doesn't matter. Okay, because normally right now, this is the weird thing about my brother. The way that he think is completely different from us. Okay, like for example that for me, I do my homework because out of fear that my teachers will punish me, right? But for my brother, it's a bit weird. For my brother, is his logic is a bit weird. So if I don't do my homework, then the teacher will punish me. So if the teacher punish me, then I don't need to do my homework. That is exactly what is him thinking. And guess what happened? He don't do the homework, and obviously he's going to get punished. And guess what happened? The teachers going to whack his ass. Okay, and what happened? You can see this thing right now. You look at active immunity. Yeah, you look at the graph. It actually showcase what is it going on here. My brother is actually his ass, right? Because every day kena cane. So what happened? It is getting stronger. Look at this thing, it's getting stronger. Again, BM is the same thing lah. Okay, so it's getting stronger. Now, you can see the level here, immunity level here. So during all this time, when the teacher whack his ass, does his ass feel pain? Obviously, he feel pain. This is whereby that he's below this immunity level. Okay, when my brothers is being whacked for the one whole year, every day gonna whack, and eventually that you can see the graph here. Now this is on vaccine, yeah. If you look at the vaccine thingy, right, you see it get over this immunity level. Okay, so it reached to the certain threshold. The moment that you reach to this level, what happened when the teacher whacked my brother ass? My brother said no pain. What happened to him? He immune. Again, same thing to your vaccine there. Why you need 2 injection or sometimes even 3? Okay, because the first injection, right, you will notice that only up a little bit. So that's why, right, in COVID-19 thingy, right, why first dose is not able to help you to to protect you from the COVID, because the immunity, you still way below the immunity level. Your skin is not thick enough. So what happened here is it's still weak. So if you take the second injection, like every day gonna whack, what happened? It increase slowly. Yeah. If you look at here, it's actually kind of slow, not that fast. Okay, it's like in weeks. Okay, you can see here, Mingo only. So as it reaches to this level, your skin is thick enough whereby your teacher whack, you will say that no pain. But obviously my brother is not that stupid lah. He pretend like very pain, but when he come back at home, he tell me no pain at all. This is the power of active immunity. So what happened here is it prevents diseases. Okay, so the process actually now, if you look at this, the process first, let's jump to the time taken. Time taken for you to become strong. Slow. Masa lebih panjang. Okay, however, the moment that you got that power, it lasts really, really long. Okay, this is the power of active immunity. Got it? Okay? So now, teacher, how about passive? How about passive immunity there? Passive immunity is almost the same story about the teacher going to whack your ass also. But now this time, when teacher want to whack your ass, what happened? What happened? Instead of letting your teacher whack you, passive immunity is you use other thing to protect you. On in this case, right? Do you notice that passive immunity is they use the blood plasma of the animal. So to put in the word that you can understand, right? Again, your teacher want to whack your boom boom. What do? You are smart. You take books, a very thick book, cover your ass. So when teacher whack you, do you feel pain or not? No. Immediately, no pain. Whack ma, got book ma. This is again the power of passive immunity. It grants you immediate protection. But I think that your teacher is not stupid also lah. Whack pa, hey, got book. Hi, you try to cheat me. What happened? Take off your book. So when the book is not protected, your backside already, what happened? When your teacher back you, you die off. Got it? So this is the idea behind it. All right. So this is again, I think I create this metaphor. Hopefully that you guys can understand. This is what's going on here. Okay. Can. So one takes time, but it lasts really long. But again, for the passive immunity wise, right? It immediate or certain matter, but not that long. Sad but true. Okay. Can. Now the story does not end there. This is where that I want you guys to, embrace everything that what you have learned. And the best way is to apply it. Which one is better? Passive immunity or active immunity? Think about this. Think about this first, yeah. Because like I said before, in my class, right, I don't want you just to listen, memorize, and do the exam. No. This is not education is all about. You have to use it. The thing about that, what you learn is you have to use it. Now, again, go back to my question. Which one better, active or passive? Got your answer? Now, if your answer say active lah, teacher, better what? Okay, you got the point there. So what happened here is active immunity is good. Why? Because it prevents you from contracted to that disease. So it's actually much more better than the what do you call this passive immunity. But to say that passive immunity is 100 sorry BM1 is mencegah penyakit. Okay. Oh, and one more thing about active immunity is weaken or dead pathogen, right? Dead pathogen. So this is a sad thing. Okay. So and again, this thing will protect you lah in a way. And what happened here is for passive and active immunity here. For active, yes, it can prevent, but you got one weakness. What is the weakness? Here, healthy people that are yet to be infected. You only can be used in this situation. What happened that if you kena COVID, you still want to take active immunity? Obviously cannot. So when you kena COVID, what happened? Well, you need this. Because you already kena. So what to do? So you need it to treat diseases. Make sense? And if for those people that are suffering from the disease, you don't expect that when somebody kena COVID, okay, you take the vaccine right now. Dude, come on. It make the situation worse. But the sad thing first, up to this point, okay, we are talking about, I sometimes that I need to put the date down also, so that whatever that I teach right now is relevant. Up to this point, March 2022, we actually still don't have the passive immunity yet for COVID. So right now, the most powerful weapon against COVID is still need to go back to vaccine. All right. I believe that for the teenagers, like you guys, most of you is already vaccinated. That I'm not worried so much. And again, I already see the result. Okay, that most of my students that got infected is okay. They not really suffer from any kind of very, very bad, experience. So they are good. All right. So, and the one that I worried, the one that I heard in the news whereby that the younger kids one, 5 to 12 years old, the vaccination rate is only 33. So that is actually make me very, very sad, because that this Omicron, believe it or not, is actually is to against those people that how do I say this that is not yet vaccinated. Okay, can and believe me that somebody that say I don't want to get vaccinated, dude. If you look down on this if you look this thing down, I know there's a lot of taking. Teacher need to memorize No lah, no need lah. Hello. Okay, now this one, right? Okay, is the list of vaccination that you took for the first. I think that for the first year, right, you took a lot of this thing. That much. Okay. Is it scary? No. Are you dead? No. And guess what happened? It prevent you a lot of these diseases. Tuberculosis is actually one of the deadliest diseases that again acts similarly like COVID-19 also, whereby that you cough until you got blood, everything come out. And because of the power of vaccine, this thing, we are this close to prevent this thing from, like this close to 100% eliminate this thing. Sadly enough, in US and in Malaysia, we started to see the rise of those people that say, no lah, don't vaccine. Natural is the best. Okay, right now vaccine is still, we are this close, and this thing is, the case is rising again because some people refuse to get vaccinated. Kind of sad when I think about this. Okay, so all these things actually no need to memorize. No need to memorize a lot of things that is not necessary. Okay, but the one that we need to quickly discuss about this is what is the causes that weaken your immune system. Again, quickly go through stress. Okay, in VM we call the kanana. You can see. So again, student like you guys not supposed to be stressed at this moment. Okay, and then you take too much sugar, obesity. I'm sorry, I guilty over this. I'm sorry. And again, I also guilty over this also, lack of sleep or kurang tidur. But of course, I'm not smoking, so I'm fine with it. Okay, so this one is the few reason that you actually your immune system is weakened. All right, and then you look at the amalan that menguatkan sistem keimunan. Okay, so again, best way, exercise lah. Okay, don't drink alcohol, no smoking. Okay, sleep well. Okay, that's it lah. So that is your immunity right there. Okay, normally in my class we will have argument lah. I said before, in my class is I always like to be challenged by my student. Okay, student is best, like in my class is, I don't really like the student that listen. I like the student that like to think. I don't teach the student what to think, but I teach the student how to think. So this is a thing that normally that in the class we have a lot of discussion, open discussion. Okay, no matter that how stupid question you ask, don't worry. You dare to ask, this is my logo. You dare to ask, I dare to answer. Okay, can? So now, of course, so this is the introduction of this immunization thingy here. And let's go and look for, okay, now, you might curious on how do we do the exercise then. So if you look at your notes, right, you will notice that on page 7, you'll see the exercise right here. I will have my special own exercise. Okay, so now this is the exercise on the brochure part, right? So you will see that this is your question. So again, quickly recap what have we learned just now. All right, look at this. So again, we try to narrow it down first. You got two things only: active, passive. So if you look at this is active or passive? I give you 5 seconds to think about this. Active, passive. Quickly think it through. Active takes time, but it lasts very long. Okay? For passive, immediately got the power. So again, if you look at A, although the question doesn't ask here, so this one will be your active. Yeah, sorry. So this one will be your why so big? Okay, so this one will be your active immunity. So I put active only lah. Okay, so for BM is active lah. Okay, okay. Immunity active, and this one will be your passive. Okay, for BM. Okay, okay. So this is what happened just now. So what does it mean by immunity? So remember, immunity is what? Ability to fight the diseases, right? So, yep. So this is it. The body ability to fight infectious disease of a pathogen by producing certain antibody. Okay, or in BM, keupayaan badan untuk melawan jangkitan patogen dengan menghasilkan antibody tertentu. Normally in a what do you call this exercise part, right? Normally I give some time for you guys to copy lah. But for this video, for the sake of the timing here, you guys can pause the video if you guys want to copy the answer. And for me right now, we move on to the next question, yeah? Okay, so now B. Amine take injection to obtain immunity shown in the graph A. What is injected to amine body? So this is what? This is actually, now, what is this? This one is active, right? So again, we need to ask the question now, natural or active? Again, you see here, only up a bit only. So you put the second one. So this one will be your artificial active immunity. Okay, or in BM, immunity active buatan. Okay, so what is injected? So vaccine, no? Okay, so on which day that Amin will obtain the immunity from the vaccination? So if you want to know when he get the immunity there, you need to look at the immunity level. As long as this thing, your graph is over the immunity level. So I can pull this down a bit. So you need to take slightly higher lah. Okay, you'll see that somewhere around like 68, or I should say that, in this case, I can take like 65 days lah, somewhere around that point. Okay, so if I put it down, hold on, just in case to make the argument, so 65 days will be better lah. Okay, so state one similarity between two types of immunity. So this thing actually allow you to fight the diseases or to fight the pathogen. So I think the keyword is here lah, melawan pathogen. Okay, pause the video if you want to copy it. And then the last one here, Haris does the revision midnight. And he has cold and take long time to recover. State what he need to do. Dude, have some rest, yo. Okay, so adopt the healthy lifestyle and sleep before 11 lah. Or another one is on, this is point number 1. And this is point number 2. Okay? Okay? So do the exercise lah. So that's it. Okay? So I hope you understand the concept of active and passive immunity. I believe that that's all for today. So if you got any question, you can post in the comment there lah. If I can, then I will reply to you lah. All right. So I see you next time. Bye bye. Ding.